Om. Om. Om.
Sairam sisters and brothers, a warm welcome to you all for the 14th online Samarpan. This COVID-19 has been in a way a catalyst for all of us to go inwards and think more about Swami and his message for how we should be leading our lives. Today we have the pleasure of Dr. Hirok Changkakoti joining us. A brief introduction. Dr. Hirok joined the Sri Sathya Sai Arts, Science and Commerce College in 1976 for his PUC and went on to complete his PhD in 1992 from the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. He was in the first batch of postgraduates from the SSIHL, as also being the first batch of research scholars. In 1983, Brother Hirok was awarded the Best All-Rounder Gold Medal for being the Best All-Rounder student in the university. He has been singing in front of Swami since 1977 and has been commanded to give many concerts in the Divine Presence since his PUC days. He's been fortunate to present several music programs for Swami's birthdays, including the 60th birthday celebrations. And Swami has commanded him to sing Rama Katha in his Divine Presence hundreds of times. In 1978, Swami tasked him and his team of bhajan singers and the famous playback singer Srimati P. Sushila to participate in the recording of Sai Katha, a musical compilation of Swami's life in Telugu. The recording for this album was done in Chennai during Swami's visit to Sundaram in 1978. This album was released by Swami in 1978 during his 57th birthday celebrations, during which the Sai Katha was first performed in the Divine Presence. During his PhD days, Swami asked Hirok brother to play the lead role of Adi Shankara in the drama Bhaja Govindam, which was personally directed by Swami. The drama was staged in the Divine Presence first in the University Auditorium in Prasanthi Nilayam, and then was staged, and then Brother Hirok and the entourage had the opportunity to accompany Swami to Mumbai to stage the drama in the Shanmukhananda Hall and subsequently in Chaudhaya Memorial Hall in Bangalore. This drama was completely directed by Swami, including the way how to walk, dialogue, delivery, and the singing style. So we welcome Brother Hirok to take us to the 1970s and 1980s to share Swami's Leelas during those times. Welcome, brother.
Thank you. Om Sai Ram. I'll just start with a prayer which we used to sing in front of Swami, which basically tells all the devotees what Swami means to us, right? Swami is everything for all of us. So this is the prayer which goes like this. Tvameva matascha pita tvameva tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva tvameva vidya Dravinam tvameva tvameva sarvam mama deva deva tvameva sarvam mama deva deva Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva Shri Sai Deva. Om Shri Sai Ram. With prayerful salutations to the Lord, who is everything to us. You know, as I remember the journey that I've had with Swami, one of the first things that comes to my mind is how Swami became everything, the center of our lives. We were basically, he was everything and all of us were nothing in front of him. And I actually pray to Swami, as well as thank the organizers for inviting me to share one of the best points of discussion that I've had in my life. For all the people who have gone through the colleges, or who have been with Swami, or who have come in contact with Swami, I guess some of the best times that we have spent, that was the best time of our lives, when we were interacting with Swami, when we were going for his darshan, or when we were when we were giving he was giving his love and affection to all of us. It's basically for all of us, he is everything for us, right? So that's why we say Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. And he was our God, he was our philosopher, he was our advisor, he was our refuge, and he was our last point of prayer for all of us. How lucky are we to really understand, to really get the opportunity of being in the presence of the avatar of the age. See, we all of us did not know who God was, right? But then Swami came into our lives, and then he showed who God was. And then the only thing that he did was, in his love and compassion and this thing, he pulled us, all of us, towards God. So my journey with Swami actually started in the early 1960s, somewhere in 1960, 64, 60, 65, 66. So we were called for a bhajan. By that time, we had not heard of Swami at all. And this was in a place which is thousands and thousands of miles away from Puttaparthi. This is a place known as Shillong in Meghalaya. And we were called for bhajans. And I remember in Shillong, or in the most of the Northeast, I actually belong to Assam. So most of the Northeast, the sun sets very early. 4:30 will be almost like night. So we thought that, okay, we'll go and attend this bhajan. And we reached there by about 5 o'clock or so. It was completely dark, and the bhajan had already completed. But then there was a photograph of Swami, and we saw the photograph, and my mother was given the photograph of Swami, and we got that photograph. It was not a proper photograph. It was just like a calendar or something like that. And then we got it to our house and started doing, we basically used to do bhajans in our house. It was not bhajans in the conventional Sai bhajans which we had, because we did not know that much of bhajans at that time. But then we started praying. This photograph was kept in our puja room, and we started praying. And then just Swami walked into our life. He just started manifesting himself in various ways. The first thing that we would see was that Vibhuti coming out in Swami's photographs. Okay, and that was something which none of us knew anything about. And he came into our lives and then started, first thing which he showed was his manifestation of Vibhuti in various photographs, not only Swami's photographs, it was in any of the gods or goddesses photographs which we had in the puja room. Then some people, the moment this Vibhuti manifestation came or Amrit manifestation came, people started, some of the devotees of Swami started visiting our home, and then they started teaching us bhajans. And so we started singing bhajans. And on Sundays, whenever we used to sing bhajans, all of us used to be together while singing bhajans. This was this became a tradition and a routine for us. And when Swami was to when we used to sing this bhajan, one particular day, which all of us remember, is that we were singing bhajans, and then our house in Shillong had wooden floors because it's a very cold place. So it is to have wooden floors. So when in the wooden floors, suddenly, I mean, it sounds like a fairy tale, or it sounds improbable, but then we started hearing footsteps. And all of us, we are looking at the, see, there was, the puja room was in the third room, and all of us are looking at the door, which has an opening into the puja room. And we can, in front of our eyes, as well as we can hear, there's nobody there, but we can hear footsteps, and the footsteps come and stop in front of the puja room door. And from there is a light which just shoots across all the photographs of Swami, and some of the flowers just bend like this. And then, Vibhuti Amrit starts coming out. So this was one manifestation. Another manifestation was when Swami used to come and eat food. My mother started giving food to her, because, see, like, he became a part of a family. He came into our lives and he became part of our families. You will be actually surprised to know that there were times when Swami used to put pocket money in my elder brother's pocket, because there were because of the circumstances, maybe because my mother had not given him money for having his lunch in the, but Swami used to come and put some money in his pocket. And all of us were seeing all these manifestations which were coming, and this only increased our love for Swami, and Swami was manifesting himself more and more, and then coming into our lives. So that's where devotees journey is when when Swami becomes everything and he becomes nothing. So that was what was happening. There was another incident which happened in Shillong only. I had an elder brother, of course, who passed away now. We had a bhajan in our house, and from after the bhajans, when people had gone off, that room in which the bhajans was held was actually closed off, and my brother just walked into that room, thinking that he'll go towards the bathroom in that room. Suddenly, he just screamed and ran back. Why did he run back? He just saw that there was a calendar of Swami. Swami was walking out of the calendar. And then that's how he manifested himself and told that, see, so my brother was telling all of us, we actually were not believing him, but he was telling that, no, Swami walked out of that, and then he came and stood here. And of course, that was the time when he ran away from there. So that was how Swami was slowly coming in. And then then after that, of course, during the 50th birthday, Swami sent a message to my father. By that time, my elder brother Rupak had also come in and was staying with Swami. So during the 50th birthday celebrations, Swami wanted my father to come there, but he was not getting any vacation leave or anything like that. And then there was financial problems were also there. Swami sent a telegram saying that come applying sick leave. We have the telegram even today. Come applying sick leave, Baba. And after all that, Swami, you know what he did? He also took care of the expenses for the trip. Somehow there was some money which was due to my father, and then it came into our bank, and then Swami came here. It came into the bank, and then that's how my father came for the 50th birthday celebrations. And after that, Swami sent clothes and everything to all of us. And then after a year, he sent a letter to my father saying that all of you come and come to Puttapati. He told that come to Puttapati to have darshan. So we, of course, traveling from Shillong to, we were that time at Guwahati. So Guwahati to Puttapati used to take 4 days. So we all came to Puttapati and then found that Swami was not there. We went and met Mr. Kutumbarao and told him that Swami had asked us to come. Then he said, "Don't worry, I will talk with Swami." That time there were no mobile phones around, so they did a trunk call, and then Swami said, "No, Valki Ramanu ikki Brindavan ki Ramanu enduku Puttapati poinaru." So Swami started saying that, why, what I talked to you is in Telugu. He said, "Tell them to come to Brindavan. Why did they go to Puttapati?" So we came to Brindavan, and then of course Swami, we stayed with Swami in that old bungalow. That old bungalow, of course, now is not there. It is the Trey Mandir which is there. And it was during that time that Swami told me, one of the days when there was a function in the college, Swami told me, "Etla undi, how's the college?" And what was the college that time? The college did not have a hostel. It had the college buildings, but it didn't have a hostel. The hostel was the Kalyan Mandap. Behind the Kalyan Mandap, there was another small shed in which a few others used to stay. And then there was a 2-story building in the present place where the foreigners block is there. Boys used to stay there. And there was one more small bungalow, which of course is no longer there now. It has been replaced by the foreigners block. And so Swami told, imagine that he told me, "Etla undi" means he asked me, "How's the college?" Of course, what can I say? I was just trying to finish my 10th standard at that time. I said, "Yes, Swami, chala bagundi." I mean, I didn't talk in Telugu at that time because I didn't know Telugu. So I said, "Swami, bahut acha hai. Tum aao," he told me. So I went back and gave my 10th standard. And then before my results came, Swami sent word through my brother saying that, "Okay, ask him to come. Don't wait for the results. Let him come." Okay, so we, there were three of us who came from Assam, and we came and we were staying in the Kalyan Mandap, present Kalyan Mandap, and we were not we couldn't attend the classes because we didn't have our passing certificates at that time. But then Swami said, "Come." So this is how it is. It is the life story. It is the life story or the journey story of each of the devotees. I'm sure this is something which would have happened with all of you. Swami calls you, introduces himself to you, and then with full compassion, love, and humility, actually humility, he just calls you in and draws you into his fold, and then starts giving what he wants you to learn from him. So that is why. And also one more thing, I mean, this is my story, but there is a story for all of you. That is why Swami used to, because Swami sees, and each of you will have a one-to-one connection with him. That is why Swami always keeps on saying, Prema Swarupalara. So he is full of love. Swami himself is full of love, and he sees that love in you. That is why he calls all of us Prema Swarupalaras or Divyatva Swarupalara. He is divine, and he sees you also in the same divinity. That's why he calls us Divyatva Swarupalara. So that is the one-to-one connection which all of us have. And the life story or the journey of each of our devotees is just this. He calls you in. Imagine how blessed we are that he calls you in and tells you that, see, worship me. Who knew how God would be? But he tells me that, okay, worship me. And then he says that I am God, you are also God. That is why he tells you that, okay, go, walk towards walk towards Godhood by following what I want you to follow. One more thing which I wanted to tell you was, Swami always used to say, don't lead me because I will not follow you. Walk with me so that I can, so that we can walk together. So that's how it is. That's how all of us came, and this is how I came to Swami's fold. And then that's where my journey really started with Swami. And what did he do? Okay, before I proceed further, I just want to tell you one thing. All of you will have to forgive me because I really don't know how to speak. I just remember an incident which happened to me in my first PUC. This was during the summer course. So Swami told me, "No matladu. You also speak." So I said, I was actually completely petrified. I didn't know how to speak. My only exposure to speaking was in my fifth standard. After that, I never spoke. But Swami said, "No matladu." Okay, speak. He told me, "You speak," and he told me, "You speak on Shirdi Sai Baba." Now, what will I speak? What will I think? I was spending sleepless nights. What Swami did was he went to the to the summer course, and they used to give discourses. Right, that was the first time when he spoke about Shirdi Sai Baba, and he intimated to all of us whether about how the names of the parents of Shirdi Sai Baba. Actually, all of us didn't know anything about the parents of Shirdi Sai Baba. If you see this thing, what do you call it? Sai Satcharita, I don't know whether there is any mention of the parents of Shirdi Sai Baba, but then first time Swami mentioned about Shirdi Sai Baba. And then after that he comes and tells me, Vinava. I said, Vinava means, did you hear it? I said, yes, Swami, Vinnano. Then he tells me that Chudu, Aknunchi Yem Cheppanu, Nu Poi Adi Chappu. So whatever I told, you go and tell that. It's for 15 minutes. I finished that full speech in 5 minutes because I am not a good speaker. So you please forgive me for my flaws in conveying what I wanted to convey to you. So and that's how my journey started, and this was in my first year. And then in my first year, holidays came. So I don't know what happened. I told Swami that I'm not going home. All the boys had gone home, but I said, Swami, I will not go home. Swami said, no, Paul, means you have to go. There can't be this thing, there can't be any exception, you have to go home. So I actually literally begged. That time, E. Sudarshan was our warden. I sent word through him, and Swami said, okay, you stay. And that during some of the bhajans that used to happen during that time, there were very few boys. So during those bhajans, Swami one day asked me to sing, and I sang in my squeaky voice. That time my voice had not become that this thing. I sang in my squeaky voice, and Swami, you know, he pretended that I don't know whether he pretended, but he felt that Bhaga Padho means you have sung well. One of the things that I learned during that time, or during my life living with Swami, was that Swami never discouraged anybody. He was always he never discouraged anybody. He always used to give positive reinforcement to whatever we are doing, because he felt that by positive reinforcement, the best in each of us will come out. But then there were also times when he used to, pretend to be angry with us, because he was molding us and transforming us. Pretend to be angry and tell that, hey, you are not following Swami's this thing, and then he will start ignoring you. That is the time when Swami will you will come to know about, you will pine for him, because he wants to give you a lesson. But then this is how it happened, and then Swami I started singing. And it was during that time that frequent occurrences of fever, frequent occurrences of cough used to happen for me. So, Swami, what he did was he sent all of us to, there were quite a few of us who were having various ailments. So he sent all of us to the hospital. And the doctor was, we all of us went through the medical examinations, and Swami, and then our warden reported back to Swami saying that, Swami, Hirok Hirok has got septic tonsils, so they have to be removed. Now my voice is already squeaky, and then so that fear, that time that fear was actually, the tonsillectomy is a very, very simple procedure which should not be a botheration for anybody. But then Swami took it so seriously. He called my mother and told her that, see, he has to do this operation. And then the first thing that my mother asked Swami was, Swami, uska voice ka kya hoga? Swami said, nahi, hum apna voice dega. And you know what he did? He kept on cajoling, kept on talking with my parents, especially my mother, and told them that, listen, don't worry, I will take care of it. And on the day previous to the operation, Swami took me in his own car, and then we went to the Sathya Sai Hospital, not the present big super specialty hospital. It was the regular Sathya Sai Hospital, and then Swami took us in his own car, and what he did was, he also got one of my cousin brothers to come with me to stay the night, thinking that means like just for the sake of that concern which was there, that care which he took, was amazing. And this was all being done for a simple tonsillectomy. So the next day morning, the operation was held, and Swami came before the operation started and went into the operation theater. So once Swami went into the operation theater, everybody rushed in to the operation theater. It was a very small operation theater, so it was fully crowded. And in that crowd, the operation was conducted. You know, now when I think of it, now it's such a this thing. So in that crowd, that operation was conducted, and then someone went and hit a plug point, and there was a big spark, and everything. The lights went off. Swami was holding this thing. Swami was holding the torchlight, and then the operation got concluded. And that's after that. Of course, there was a period of recovery, and during the period of recovery, Swami was all attention and all concern for this person who has got his tonsils removed. And then uh, I mean, that's how this thing. That's how I was. I believe that the voice which Swami gave, which I have today, is because of Swami and nothing else. Because during the time when the operation happened, and that uh, electrical uh, malfunctioning that happened during that time, that could have been lethal for anybody, because I was under general anesthesia. But nothing happened because Swami was there. And then after that, Swami started asking me, once my throat became a little bit better, Swami started asking me to sing bhajans. And I know for one thing, being able to sing is God's gift. And then after that, being able to sing in front of God is also his gift. And then what Swami used to do was, Swami used to start uh, he started asking me to sing uh, simple bhajans. So one of the first bhajans which Swami was asked me to sing was this song. मन मंदिर में राजाधिराजा तुम हो साई भगवान, तुम हो साई भगवान। नर्तन सुंदर नटराजा, शिवकामी प्रिय शिवराजा, तुम हो साई भगवान, तुम हो Sai Maharaj. So this was one of the bhajans, and this a very simple bhajan. But then Swami used to ask, if there is some guest who has come, Swami used to sing, okay, no pardon, means just sing, and he used to signal all of us to sing. So like that, he used to signal to various people for singing various favorite songs which he used to have. So as this continued, Swami suddenly, I got the opportunity to stay with Swami, in the sense that this was known as the staircase duty. And the staircase duty is basically the duty where the boy goes and stands near Swami's bedroom door. And then when Swami comes down, he comes down and opens the door so that Swami can walk out. Something like the Dwarpalakas. This used to happen in Vrindavan as well as in Puttapati. So I got that opportunity, and that's when Swami started telling me, no, I mean, this was in Hindi. why are you not learning Telugu? Uh, how will I learn Telugu? So Swami said, Nerpistanu, I will myself teach you. And then, this was happening, and then I think within a few months or so, I have no clue how I learned Telugu. Generally, if you see, when Swami speaks in Telugu, even a non-Telugu person will understand his speech. But then to interact with Swami in Telugu, there has to be some knowledge of Telugu for us to understand. And then, so that's where Swami started uh, telling me to speak in Telugu. So if there were times when I used to answer back to Swami in Hindi. Swami will say, no, Telugulo matladu. That time he will speak in Telugu only. And with all the faults, with all the efforts, I actually did not go and take a book or anything like that. I just started following Swami, and that's how I learned a little bit of Telugu. And the purpose was to teach me to sing Ramakatha. I mean, a lot of people or a lot of you would be seeing the Ramayana. So when I see the Ramayana now, this Uttara Ramayana, you see Lavakusha singing the song, Ramakatha, right? Singing the glory of the Lord. So Swami started asking us to sing the Ramakatha. And hundreds of times we would have sung in front of Swami. And each time, Swami will enjoy it as much as he would have enjoyed the first time itself. So all of us was to wonder why this is happening. But then we did not realize that some of the things which were being told during the Ramakatha, the Ramakatha as per se is from the movie Lavakusha, which was enacted by Anjali Devi, great devotee of Swami. She enacted the Sita's role there. So Lavakusha was one of this Ramakatha was a huge compilation of songs, but we selected a few of those songs. And why did he select a few of the songs? Because Swami wanted her to sing those songs. And now when I see the Ramayana, sometimes the Ramayana comes in the TV, you see it's just a flashback to what we were, how it was when we were presenting the Ramakatha to Swami. Swami used to love that song so much that there were parts, each of the parts of the song, Swami used to react to each of those things. So this proved one thing, that Swami was Rama, because the songs that were selected were songs which talked of certain incidents in Rama's life, and he told us to sing those songs. So, like, take for example the reaction of Swami for this part of Ramakatha. Odalinadu, this is the Ramakatha. This is one part of the Ramakatha. Okay, this is not the full song. Odalinadu Raghavudu అడవికేగగా పదటి సీత సౌమిత్రి తోడు నీడగా వెడలినాడు రాఘవుడు అడవికేగగా పడటి సీత సౌమిత్రి తోడు నీడగా ఘోడు ఘోడు నాయోధ్య కొల్లుమన్నది వీడకుమా మనలేదని వేడుకొన్నడి అడుగుల పడి రాఘవా ಅಡುಗುಲ ಪಡಿ ರಾಘವ ಆಗಮನ್ನದಿ ಆಗಮನ್ನದಿ ಒಡಲಿ ಅಡಲಿ ಕಣ್ಣೀರೈ ಹರಯುಚುನ್ನದಿ. This part of the Ram Gatha talks of how the people of Ayodhya were pleading with Rama not to leave Ayodhya. So Adugula Pariragava, they blocked his way and bowed down to him, fell at his feet and said, don't go, my lord, don't go. And when we used to sing this part, we always used to see that Swami was so affected by it. Like he used to, there were times when he used to, become very serious, or, there is fleeting sadness, because in Swami's, if you look at Swami's face, there is never a glimmer of gloom or sadness in his face. But then when this part used to come, sometimes Swami used to feel so, like, he used to have that fleeting sadness which used to come into his face because of his involvement in the song. And one of the things which actually points out to this is also the fact that, see, when he used to ask us to sing hundreds of times, it was basically practice for getting into the song. Because what Swami wanted to do was, through this namasmarana, through the singing, convey to the people that that communion with God should be conveyed to the people, so that when we sing a bhajan, I mean, all of us can sing bhajans, and we can sing bhajans with lot of finesse, with lot of alankars, with lot of this thing. But then that bhajan should be touching people's heart, because Swami always preached that namasmarana is the only path for us to go towards God in Kali Yuga. So these things, like, take for example this Ram Katha was one of the most often sung group of songs in front of Swami. Then there was another group of songs which Swami himself composed. When I say himself composed, this was the Sai Katha, and I just there's so much of this thing. Swami never, after he put the maximum effort in composing the Sai Katha, how was the Sai Katha composed? Sai Katha was composed in Vrindavan. Music director Rajeshwar Rao, Salar Rajeshwar Rao, who's no longer there. And then lyricist was Adinayan Rao, who was the husband of when you see these two people, actually, I mean, you have to bow down to them because of the love. And see, despite their high caliber and professional success in the music world, they always used to, always used to bow down to Swami and always listen to Swami, because Swami is the world's, he's the music director, he's God. So these people were asked to come in from Chennai, and they stayed in the Vrindavan hostel for 15 days. And of course, Swami was going around in his, after giving interview and all, he'll come and sit down and ask them, okay, Iroj, what did you do today? And these people will say that, okay, Swami, this is what we have uh, written, and this is the tune that we have put for this. Uh, so like that, I think he was there. They were there for 15 days, and that's how Sai Katha was created. But during all this time, when they took up an incident from Swami's life, Swami always uh, told them details which were not known to them. So look at that involvement of Swami. How much of involvement was there for? This is about his own life. Sai Katha was his own life, and he will tell them incidents. What incidents to take up in the Sai Katha? What incidents to bring into the lyrics? All those things, Swami himself did that. And then after the full Sai Katha was prepared for 1 month, Swami went through the practice with all the people who were selected for singing the Sai Katha. And that's how Sai Katha was born. And I mean, one of the things which I'm actually most grateful to Swami was that he gave the chance for me to sing Sai Katha. I was in the chorus. The main singers were Hirok Changkakoti and P. Sushila. Just a glimpse of Sai Katha. Sai Katha starts with Palikedi Sai Kathayata Palikinchu Bibhundu Sai Ramurata Ne Palikina Bhavahara Magunata Palikeda Verundu Gatha Palukaganela. What other glory can I sing except the glory of Sai? I want to sing the glory of Sai, and there is no other glory greater than this glory. So, Madhuram Madhuram Sai Katha Navarasa Bharitam Swami Katha Madhuram Madhuram Sai Katha. So Madhuram, his story is Madhuram means sweet. Madhuram, sweet story of Sai Katha. And this group of songs which Swami sang, which Swami composed or supervised the composition, was, look at the usage of words. There were times when Swami used to tell that, no, instead of say Madhuram, you put this. So Vinudu Vinudu Satya Sai Divya Gadha. Oh, hear the song of Satya Sai Divya Katha. Hear the divine story of Satya Sai. So each of the lyrics were also vetted by Swami, suggested by Swami. And then after that, when the practice sessions went on, Swami used to tell that, okay, see, like there was a chorus for that, right? So how you should sing the chorus. And then, of course, we went to Chennai and recorded the song. But then there are a few things which I want, which this Sai Katha taught me was, after it was recorded and then presented and then inaugurated by Swami, Swami just forgot about it. Look at the sense of dispassion and detachment which Swami had. Swami just forgot about it. the amount of involvement which Swami had for this Sai Katha, the amount of effort that he put in trying to put together the lyrics, put together the incidents, put together the what do you call the practice sessions, all this he did, and then he completely forgot about it, and he never asked us to sing it again. There was only once I remember when we sang Sai Katha in Trai Vrindavan, the old bungalow, and Swami, of course, that time myself and Kote sang that song, and then Swami said, "Oh, you all remember that song? Inka manchiga guttu petnavu kada." Okay, so this was, see, all this time this journey is of the devotee is going on. He is now trying to uh, trying to get trying to through positive reinforcement, trying to get the best out of the devotee, and then his Swami is now trying. He is now making sure that he gets the best out of his students, and that's how. See, I'm actually not a trained singer. I've never been trained in singing. The only thing that I knew about singing was singing in a squeaky voice without any this without much of this thing, without much of a raga tala or anything. But then Swami took that, you know, uh, piece of stone and cut it into what he wanted it to be. So basically, all our journeys are like that. Our journeys are from being from see, like, take for example, there is a time when we say that Swami is everything for us, and then we become nothing. That is what Swami means used to do in terms of what he wants you to be. One of the things which I actually, as this was also mentioned, uh, a group of people, like take for example, we were all in the PhD, there was the PhD class of students. We were the first batch of PhD students. And one day, Swami suddenly sent word through the warden. So we were all called to his room, and we thought that, okay, I think we will get a blasting. All of us will get a blasting because we would have done something wrong. So he told, okay, all of you sit down. This is the warden talking to us, right? He just returned from the mandir, and he told all of us, okay, all of you sit down. Okay, we all sat down. Then Swami, that warden points to me and says that, meet the new Sankaracharya. So he was trying to be very, very mysterious about what he wanted to tell to us, but he told me the new Sankaracharya. And then he also pointed out that this person will be Totaga. This person will be another devotee. So all the whole group of PhD scholars were asked to present Bhaja Govinda. And I think if all of us know how loved is Bhaja Govindam, how much the message that is conveyed by Bhaja Govindam. Bhaja Govindam, think of Govinda. Mudhamate, oh fool, think of think of Govinda. So all of us were asked to play various roles, and then I remember I was doing my PhD during that time, and I had Mayur Pandya as my colleague, and then there was another person known as Sundar Iyer who was my colleague. So all of us were asked to act in the drama. Uh, so all of us are very happy because we don't have to study for some time. And then on top of all that, every day Swami used to come and then be in the practice sessions. So we used to practice in the mornings, and then we used to practice in the evenings. In most probably in all of the morning sessions, Swami used to be there, uh, directing the this thing, directing the directing the drama, telling us about how to do dialogue delivery. Like take for example, I am this. See, I have a very high power. Okay, I can't see without a specs, and Swami tells me, now how will a Shankaracharya with specs look? So Swami told, no, remove your specs. After removing my specs, I am not able to see anything. So if you, I mean, some of you would have seen the drama. So in that, if you see, my eyes were never focused because I was not seeing anything. But then Swami wanted us to do that. And then how will we know how Shankaracharya will walk? How will we know how Shankaracharya will react to a particular situation? Because that whole drama was a journey, a walk through various incidents in a person's life. How will Shankaracharya react when there is punarapi janam, when there is a death in the family? So all this was told by Swami, and then one of the incidents which happened during that time was, again, this is of course, this is something which we all of us have experienced. How Swami protects us. So we were practicing in the college auditorium. This was in the so there was this to practice. We should practice in the daytime and during the evening times. Once uh, the drama date of the drama drew nearer, we used to practice in the nights also. So one of my colleagues, I think it was Mayur Pandya, we came in the night, and then Mayur just stepped into the door of the auditorium. Suddenly he felt that something has hit him. He immediately put on a torch and saw that there was a crate which had just crossed over his leg. So Swami was protecting us even during that time. And then, of course, the drama took place in the first drama took place in the college auditorium in Puttaparthi. And then Swami was gracious enough to take us to Shanmukhananda Hall, and the drama was presented there also. The only thing which during this whole thing was, so we practiced a lot, and I mean, there were various incidents which happened. Each of the people who enacted in the drama uh, uh, will have some incident to narrate about the time that they spent during the drama. But the thing which all of us are without any hesitation will tell that all of us, when we were praying, despite praying, practicing so much before the drama, all of us went and told Swami. The time, of course, there were some of us who could speak Telugu. We went and told Swami, mere ka padali. And this was something which Swami again asked us. Yem chaptunao? Okay. Swami, mere ka padali. So in Hindi it means, or in English it means, Swami, you have to save us. And then again Swami asked, well, okay, what did you say? Swami, you have to save us. Okay, Swami made us practice. Swami directed us, and then we again go and ask him, Swami, you have to take. And because of that sense of surrender, right, which all of us had during that time, I think the drama went on very well. And there is a side incident which happened during this time. In one of the convocations, I think during the 1983 convocation, there was a drama which was put up by the college students. All of us were doing, I think, MCOM at that time. And one of the things which was there was a part in that drama. That drama was about how, despite all our efforts, Swami will never leave you. He will always get you and make you realize your real worth or your real self. So this was in that there was a part which was supposed to be played by me, in which this the part was basically of a boy who studied in Puttaparthi in Swami's hostel, and then when he goes home, he gets into some of the bad habits which are there in this thing, and then how a miracle happens in his life, and then he realizes what he's done and how he returns back to Swami's fold. This was the part which was supposed to be played by me. So not an actor, but then I thought that, okay, I should act. But what Swami did was, Swami told, no, he doesn't know any acting, don't let him not play it. That was a big, I felt very hurt by it, because I thought that, okay, I'll take a chance of acting, but it didn't materialize. That was a hurt. But then, of course, as Swami wants, it happened that way. Then, after this happened, Swami told us to enact Bhaja Govindam. You know, Bhaja Govindam. See. At that time, when this drama was being prepared, and then it was being practiced and all, no, that feeling of losing out, or that feeling of not being able to act was all there in my mind, and in a lot of others' mind. Then what Swami did was, during a PhD, he said, okay, all of you will sing, will play, will enact Bhaja Govindam. And that was for all the PhD students. So, Swami takes care of each of our desires, each of our these things. And then at that time, when Swami told us that you're going to do Bhaja Govindam, I mean, there were some of us who felt that, who knew acting, but I did not know acting. And there was, again, as I said, no, I can't speak. In the same way, I thought that I cannot act, but Swami said, no, you have to act. And that's how Bhaja Govindam was born. One thing which I wanted to say in this whole journey was that Swami comes into our lives, and today, and then, Jaishankar, how much time we have got now? Jaishankar?
We have about 15 minutes, brother.
Okay. Swami comes into our lives, okay? That he comes into our lives, introduces himself, and then makes us worship him, manifests himself in our lives, is something which is a great privilege, because I think God has come into our lives. Actually, and then slowly, as we journey through our existence with Swami, or live with Swami, Swami becomes everything for us. And all of us actually should become nothing. So that's what I have felt. And whatever he has, whatever I've talked today, or whatever I have, whatever privileges or uh, uh, manifestations or grace or blessings which he has given, is just because of him only. I'm actually nothing. So with that, I conclude. The only thing which I wanted to say was, because actually all of us are meeting during this COVID period, and uh, uh, see, well, before that, of course, uh, Swami took his samadhi. I wanted to tell one thing about Swami was that uh, Swami lived his life very, very simply. He did not have any fancy habits, nor did he eat any fancy food, nor did he have any fancy uh, clothing. See, for years and years, if you see the old mandir, that old mandir is made of stone, and Puttapati is very hot. For years and years, Swami just stayed in that room. That room is Swami's bed is there. There is in that the room is so small that after you put Swami's bed, there is only place for one more person to be moving around, and then there is a small bathroom. But he stayed in that, right? So, and then there was a very, very and so, and then he followed a set routine. So he had very simplistic simple habits. And if you see the hostels that are there, the places that we used to stay, the places were all very, very rudimentary and not with much of facilities. And the lesson that all of us should be drawing from that is, Swami, all of us should live our lives in a simple manner. Simplistic living should be our goal, because that is what Swami was doing all the time. And then Swami always had a set routine. There was a time when I used to sleep in that interview room in the mandir in Parthi. Morning at 4:30, I'm hearing a lot of noise. Someone is walking rigorously up and down, up and down, up and down. It's Swami who was in the first floor. He was doing his daily exercise. So he was very, very particular about his routine, simplistic habits, and then very, very the quantity of food that he used to take as he continued to grow. Physically, when he was aging, he started reducing his intake of food also. So there were times he never used to take much during dinner. There were times when he suppose there were any snacks or savories during tea time, he never used to take. He stopped taking coffee, tea, and then he stopped taking. One of his favorite habits was, of course, eating the pan. So in this time of lockdown, the lesson that we can take from Swami's life is, follow a strict routine, live simply, and eat less, so that we are able to tide over the pandemic that has happened to us. Post Swami's samadhi, post Swami samadhi, or I've noticed one thing. After Swami took samadhi, one of the things which is very noticeable is the activities, the Sai Samiti's activities have increased manifold. manifold, and there are various seva activities which are being undertaken by the Sai organizations throughout India and the world. Number one. Number two is Swami's manifestations in various parts of the world has increased a lot. And then, when you miss someone, you start thinking of some of the things which you learned during that time. And one of the things which we learned during that time was, I mean, this is there for everybody uh, in your professional life. One of the things which will become evident is the fact that Swami will be there with you in your professional life also. There are various things which happen. There are various incidents. There are various uh, pitfalls. There are various uh, mishaps that happen in your professional life. But then Swami's dictum of work is worship and duty is God is something which will always take us through. And the other thing which is of course very important and is a life lesson for all of us is always work hard. Uh, like if there is a music program, how Swami is to make us practice hundreds of times. Why? Because he wanted us to be confident. If you are self-confident in that bhajan, you will definitely get self-satisfaction, and as a result of self-satisfaction, you can spread around the glory of the Lord, and then try to establish a communion with God through your singing. So my only prayer to Swamis at this time is, uh, mm, Swami, please give us, all of us, the love and care, the ability to love and to care for people in the way that you cared and loved us. The ability to be compassionate, the ability to always look Godward, and the ability to be of service to mankind. And Swami always insists on our doing seva. So that's my only prayer. And thank you very much, Sai Ram.
Sairam, brother, thank you very much for sharing your experiences. I think the important takeaway for all of us is, in fact, this is not a speech that you gave. It was a conversation with Sai family members. That is the feeling that most of us have got. It's like our own family member talking to us, in a very peaceful, very casual, and very comfortable tone. So grateful to you for this chat. And I think important point for all of us is also Bhagwan as our own family member, right from the time before you joined and through the journey through your joining, and also after that, Swami selecting you for the singing and also for the Bhajagovindam. Bhajagovindam drama, I think for those who may not know, it is one of the most famous dramas among Sai devotees across Mumbai. It is probably etched in the memory forever. In 1987 and 88, I think twice Bhagwan had enacted and got this drama done in Shanmukanand Hall in Mumbai. And you being the lead role of Adi Shankaracharya, I think probably it is the icing on the cake for us to listen to you. So grateful to you for these moments. Before we end, I think there are a few questions which we will request you to kind of help us with. One question that comes up is what qualities should Sai Bhajan singers have, including music training? Or how did Swami select singers? What does Swami look into a bhajan singer?
The first thing, Swami used to say, Bhagwantudu Bhava Priya. Okay, God is is bhava priya. He likes your emotions, right? So the first thing which a bhajan singer should have is see, I tell you one thing. The ability to sing is God's gift, right? Ability to sing God is God's gift, and none of us can develop it. We can practice and sharpen that skill, but it's again God's gift. So what is it that we have to be so egoistic about? After all, it's God's gift, right? And that God's gift, if you sing, when you sing, if you are able to direct or help others who are listening to you to uh, to turn their minds to God, is the best. He will be the best bhajan singer. Of course, there are other things like um, you have to have good tala. These are things which you can actually you can practice and attain, get those skills. There is also the fact that you should have good raga, not raga gyana. Okay, I'm not saying that you should know that this is in Bhim Palasi or this is in Bhairavi. No, that's not what raga, I'm talking of. Raga is basically your tonal quality. And the third thing is, of course, you should know the bhajan properly. So that is why Swami used to always make us sing 100 times. Why? Because when you're singing, if you are confident of the lyrics, they will one of your I mean, this thing is already gone, right? You're confident of lyrics. If you have the tonal quality, if you have that laya and rhythm, and mainly put your whole soul into this song, definitely it will come. I'll tell you one incident. This happened in a 1st January, when the first January program was done. So Swami allowed a music CD to be released. Number one. Number two is he allowed us to sing bhajans and some solo songs. The solo songs were no use. I mean, nobody heard them also. But then when it came to bhajans, right, that emotions which were there in those bhajan singing, Swami got up from the chair, came out, talked with Professor Anil Kumar and said, Chudu, Evaru Partnaru. He's asking him, listen, who's singing? Mana Pillal Partnaru. My students are singing. And one of the songs which was very, very, this thing was, let's see, this song. Mukti Pradayini Prema Pradayini Shanti Pradayini Ma Janani Ma Janani Jaga Janani Sai Ma Daya Karo Sai Ma Jaya Ma Jaya Ma Daya Karo Sai Ma. So, besieging the Mother Sai, you give us mukti, right? He gives us everything. So basically, I mean, the question, sorry, Can you go ahead? I mean, is that does it convey what I mean? What about how bhajan singing should be?
No, absolutely. I think you have hit the nail on the top, saying that when we are in complete communion with Swami, when we are completely having thought, word, and deed together, when we are singing bhajans with full feelings, I think that is something which Swami gets moved about.
Yeah,
Swami gets completely in kind of emotional also at times when we have seen singers singing with so much of devotion. I think that's an important quality not for just lead singers. I think most of us who are not good in singing and are part of chorus, we also need to adopt that this quality of bhava and having unification of thought, word, and deed with complete communion with Swami. I think that is the trick which we need to follow, and it comes by practice, as you said.
yeah. Also, look at the blessings that the singer will get if he's able to turn all the people who are listening to him Godward, right? So much of blessings he gets.
It's as good as a lead singer becomes a guru who is putting the audience in touch with God.
Yeah,
That is the stage which the lead singer reaches when he is completely in tune with his.
correct.
On this note, since you sang a couple of bhajans, maybe can you sing one more bhajan which is most closest to your heart?
Yeah, actually, Venkatesh told me to sing this song. दया करो हे करुणा निधान साई, तुम हो दाता दया करो, तुम हो साई कृपा करो, प्रभु तुम साई अंतर्यामी, प्रभु तुम साई अंतर्यामी, पतिपुरी भगवान, पतिपुरी भगवान, तुम हो दाता कृपा करो, तुम हो साई कृपा करो. This song was actually composed by Hariharan. I think he's an alumni, and it was sung in front of Swami first time by. I only sang this song, and you know what a song this is. Prabhu tum sai antaryam. You are my indweller of my heart, and you are in Parthi, and you are the Data. Only you can give me daya and kripa.
Very beautiful. I'm sure I think the last part of this bhajan also would have brought tears in many people's eyes because it really touched hearts of many of us. Uh, in fact, this leads to a more deeper question. Uh, how do we hear to Swami's voice when he's speaking to us? It's a more deeper question. How do we listen to his voice when he's speaking to us?
Okay. How do we listen to Swami's voice when he's speaking to us? I mean, there are two aspects to it, right? One is the physical aspect, okay? I'm not going to dwell on the physical aspect, and I am no philosopher, no preacher in terms of trying to tell you that how you will do, how you should do. But basically, what I mean, in terms of, see, I came to Swami when I was after my 10th standard. So I didn't have that much of exposure to the world. Whatever exposure I had was only in Swami's Sannidhi, right? So that was one thing which I wanted to tell you. So to that extent, I'm not that worldly wise. But then how do I listen to Swami? So I remember once Swami telling this to some of us. He said that, listen, during the time that you have stayed with me, just try to imbibe each second of that stay, imbibe the experience that you have experienced, that you're getting during that a second, or during that minute, or during that hour. So there is a set of experiences which you have built up uh, from uh, uh, from living with Swami, right? So that is one thing which you can draw upon. And over and above that, if you pray to him, he will definitely come out with with some resolution, some solution. So I see, in our professional life, in our worldly life, right, there are so many occasions when you have to you may have to compromise on your principles. You may have to compromise on your morals. It's those experiences which you had with Swami which will help you through. Number one. Number two is, those experiences are also embedded in your conscience, right? That will take you through those experiences. So if you ask me if there a specific way we can hear to Swami's voice, each of us will have our own ways of listening to Swami's voice, right? Physically, of course, yeah, when there are so many times when we have heard Swami's voice. I hope I've answered your question, because this is a very, very highly philosophical question, and I don't want to attempt that much of philosophizing on this.
No issues. So I think you more or less answered it. Maybe I can add a line to it where some of the teachers in Parthi who taught us is calming down the mind. Once we calm down the mind, the voice of conscience, which is Bhagwan's voice, becomes more and more clearer. It comes with a lot of practice and it takes time, but definitely there is a success, and that's what we need to practice. So that's something which I learned from Prashant Nilayam teachers. I just thought I'll add to what you said.
Yeah, no. If you're asking me, Swami actually came once to the hostel and spoke on meditation. I don't know whether you were there. Swami came and spoke on meditation. Usually Swami doesn't speak on some of these things, right? But that was the time when Swami came to the hostel and spoke on meditation. He basically wanted a lot of, people in the hostel to start meditating. Of course, we did not follow that instruction, but he spoke on meditation. And I think that's one thing which calms our minds, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So just to mention, as you mentioned, Brother T.V. Hariharan's name, he is also on the call and is listening to you and your voice today.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's a great thing. Here is.
Sairam Hari. Sairam Hari. Yeah, go ahead.
Wonderful to hear you, and you are always such a simple soul. I have been seeing for 40 years more. You have been such a great personality to be inspired. If at all I should say, you are all my inspiration. I thank Swami for giving all of you to me. And Hirok, you are a great, great, great personality. Swami has loved you so much. I have seen even in 2009, Swami has said, Rupas Tamudu, Hiraku, Padu, like that. And that is a love Swami carries for you.
Yeah.
All that we hear you today. Thanks, Brother Bhatt, for allowing me to speak to Hirok. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Sairam Hari. I am actually, I just sang that Daya Karo. We were just discussing this. What a composition, right?
Absolutely, it's a Bhagwan's grace on us that both the composer and the singer are on the same. It's a
Yeah,
great occasion. I think
yeah.
before we are almost nearing the end. Before we end, maybe we can request. There's one request coming. Can you share any experience of yours after Mahasamadhi?
Uh, I mean, if you ask me whether I mean, if at the end of the Mahasamadhi, right? I've never been able to reconcile to Swami leaving his physical form. Okay, uh, because there were times when when we were discuss. I mean, when we were with Swami, he used to say that Chudu, I mean, I will maintain this health throughout. Okay, but I've never been able to reconcile to that. But what the absence of the physical form has led is a greater connect with Swami, right? All of you will be actually now thinking of, I mean, that's I think the general this thing is that all of us are thinking about Swami, and we get this the thought of Swami into our daily lives, right? uh, Always when Swami's physical form was there, there was some sort of a attitude, no, that I can go and have his darshan. Okay, I'll go and have his darshan. But then no, after he left his physical form, I think that that door was closed. So that's why all of us started thinking, internalizing him, trying to think more often about him. That's the first thing. The second thing is also, uh, since he left his physical form, what all of us have actually realized is, uh, because of our internalization of Swami, we started thinking in terms of what should we be doing so that he I mean, so that we follow what he taught us, right? So that we can bring the glory of Swami to everybody or into our lives. So that was the second part of this thing. And the third part is, after we have after Swami leaving his physical post samadhi, right? um, I mean, the fact is that Swami has just left his physical form, but he has not left us, right? He is still there with us, guiding us, telling us, okay, Chudu, when you were there in Patti, this is what I taught you. This is what you should be doing, right? So these are, I mean, if not had, I mean, that's what I said. No, at this point of time, the Swami having left his physical form is not something which has really sunk into us, but these are some of the things which are now becoming more and more prominent in our interaction and in our connect with him.
Sure, brother. So, since we are well past time, we'll conclude today's session. But just to leave a thought, is if Swami is not there, then the world is not there.
Yeah.
I think this is the most fundamental truth we need to keep in mind.
Yep.
I think this is everybody's experience in some point or the other. If Swami is not there, world is not there. If world is still there, means Swami is definitely there.
Yeah.
Only thing is we need to internalize all the things that Bhagwan has taught us and
Yeah.
put it into action.
Yeah. So that's what I said. No, Swami becomes everything for us, and we are nothing in front of him, right? We become nothing. He becomes our God. He becomes our guide. He becomes our advisor. He becomes our philosopher. He becomes our destination. and He is the journey which we are all undertaking.
Absolutely, brilliantly put. So, on this note, let's conclude. Thank you very much, brother, again for sharing your experiences and time. We were indeed soaked in Bhagwan's presence throughout the session, and let's continue to remain in this endeavor that we have got in Bhagwan's presence. Let's conclude with Samasta Loka, and then we'll close the session. Sai Ram.
समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो
Sukhino
भवन्तु
bhavantu.
ॐ शांति शांति शांति। जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय। साई राम।